Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show in my Simcity Let's Play for Friday, April 19th, 2013. And finally, I am back on track, and I will get 2 episodes out for you guys today in our brand new city of Riverview. Now, I've decided to kind of stretch this one out. I said it was only going to be 3 episodes. It's probably going to run a little longer based on what's going on, because we don't have that extra boost of a couple $1 million to make the city grow really fast. We actually need to, slow down a little bit, which is okay because this city is really its own unique thing, and why not spend a little bit of time here, even though it is going to serve a similar purpose as OperationDx in the beginning of this whole series. It is, after all, kind of a unique city in its own right, so we're going to be just moving along, I guess, with that. Now, this episode's basically just going to be stuff you've seen before. We're filling in basic services, such as the fire station and the clinic and police station, and we'll probably later on get in the pumping station and waste treatment plant so we can get things moving along here. So in the comments on the last video, you guys kind of been a little back and forth on what project we should place down for the Great Works project in this region. I think I'm just going to end up going with the airport, and then in the next region, we'll set down the solar array. So how about that? Well, I was pretty much forced to throw in the fire station at this point because there were so many fires going on around this area so quickly. But we're going to go ahead and knock those down real quick. And now that we're getting a little bit of money, I'm going to spend a bit more time with the road structure, kind of buckling it up a little bit because we have some seriously wide, wasteful kind of spaces. And, it's okay to be a little wasteful in this city because, like I said, in the previous episode, we really don't need a super large population. We just really need about 60,000 people or so to fill the roles for producing all the basic necessities for shipping off to the Great Works project, just like we did with OperationDx. Now, I did do a little bit of mopping up in OperationDx as I was sending resources over in that really accelerated episode where it took place over several hours as I was shipping things up. I was kind of tightening things up, and some of the tightening up in that city will play a role in this city, as I found kind of like a little more efficient way to do things. With the whole concern about running out of ore and coal, it's pretty much better to just import those basic resources and then smelt them. You make plenty and plenty of money. And, I'm not sure if later on down the line Maxis or EA will patch that. I'm almost kind of hoping they don't, because I think this kind of city is kind of a perfect city for doing this sort of thing. It's nice to have that nice money-making city that you can pass on resources and money to other cities to really help them get started. And it's nice to get that couple extra million boost or whatever, even though this city does have the potential to make millions upon millions upon millions. It's just kind of cool once you get things going to have that. Another thing you can do is, once you're kind of done or buckling up with the industrial city or electronic city, you can experiment with other things. So I would like to try something maybe later on. I'll do something with this city where I'll unlock the solar arrays, or those really expensive solar arrays, and try to substitute, cleaner energy systems than the coal power plant. So maybe I can, stop that super low level of pollution that happens in my other city, because usually your electronic cities are monstrously polluting, and it's just something to think about probably for the future. So I don't know, I may or may not do that for this city. I would probably have to go back to Crystal Valley to research that project, and I'm not sure if I would actually show that, or maybe I just do a really accelerated revisiting of that city depending on what's what. But I'd really like to get some of those Great Works projects knocked out and pretty much do a really full series here with as much as we can get done. After all, you guys gave me a ton of likes on the other video, and again, I really appreciate that. So I definitely want to make sure that this series gets its sufficient amount of attention before I go ahead and move on to the next series, whatever that might be. I'll probably end up doing another episode of What's Next for that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, I'm just kind of focusing on Kerbal Space Program and Simcity, and I know I opened up that What's Next episode to start another series, but I don't want to overload everything to draw too much attention away from, what's being focused on and that sort of thing. So there wasn't really a massive amount of cutting in this particular episode, but there was quite a bit because I was waiting on money. As you see, I'm always on the edge of the amount of money I need to place next. For example, this location right here is going to be allotted towards my waste treatment and water pumping station. Now, somebody had mentioned in the comments right before I did this episode that it would be best to stick the pumping station next to the water and you have unlimited water. That's okay. If we need to do that, maybe we'll rearrange things or whatever. So as usual, every once in a while I kind of stop and I get distracted, and it's kind of sort of also a money gainer kind of thing. And it's kind of cool to look around. You can see the cities in the background. We got that bridge to the, off to the side of the city here, and you got a nice grassland, throughout the whole region. And I kind of, like how this city is kind of, it's not exactly flat. And if you notice here, everything's kind of up on hills and stuff. So as you place buildings, it raises up the landscape and that sort of thing. And you can kind of see there's like a kind of a stepped kind of thing going up here, and I really like that. It's kind of cool. So every time when you kind of stop and come down and look at things, you can see that it's not just a flat space, and it's kind of a little more dynamic and interesting, even though everything flows pretty well as you place the roads and stuff, and you don't really quite notice that. It is kind of there, and I really like how that works. And in that respect, I think that the designers did a pretty good job. But one of the things that I neglected in the city, getting things started quick, and like as you do things really fast and you forget you need other things, I totally forgot to drop my garbage facility. And as I hit that thing, you saw that previously here, like I had the garbage can thing lit in my main menu saying, "Oh my goodness, you're not doing it." And then that's probably what probably starting some of those fires and like telling me that my fire station is not able to keep up. It's too slow. So, got to get that guy in there. You're going to run into all kinds of problems. So it's not too bad starting off with loans and only the 50,000 in the beginning. We got our city by the mid-second episode here pretty much up and running, and we've got the higher tier utilities with, our fire station and police and clinic. But I'm like, man, that road is so sticking out, and I have to do something about it. So I had to spend a little bit more time here working with the road systems and buckling things up a little bit. And I've got to be careful, too, because I'm placing down these high-density roads, and I don't want to block the entrance of the city because we are going to need trucks coming in and out of the city quite often to take care of all the imports and exports. I'm just gonna have to keep my eye on that so it doesn't get too crazy and out of control. Another thing I'm going to do with this city probably is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wealth up a little bit. We're going to go medium wealth. Unlike the first city, which was kind of slummy and low wealth, we're probably going to go for medium wealth. So I'm going to stick some, parks in here, maybe some of the larger parks that I haven't really experimented with. And, of course, we're going to put some of those sports parks like the baseball diamond and that sort of thing. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with education. Obviously, we are going to need the community college to tech up our industry, to unlock the processor plant. I have no idea why that's not unlocked, because you'll see in today's second episode that we're able to go ahead and drop the smelter plant without building the metals HQ and getting that first upgrade or unlock. So why do I have to do this again? I'm not sure. So I have to apparently build the electronics HQ once again because I have not seen the unlock. We've actually been playing this city for quite some time. No big deal though. I expressed it in the beginning. We can get that 1.5 million or whatever, no problem, and we'll start producing computers or TV systems. We've been there, we've done that, no big deal. We'll get it done one way or the other, and then we'll start working on our next town. Now, so I'm not sure if we're gonna start just build this up really quick and then get that Great Works project done and then move on to the Sleepy Town or the population city, or if we're going to, kind of halfway this and then move on to the next city. I'd like to not leave it all unbuckled. So perhaps I'm just gonna stick this out. We'll probably cut into a little bit next week with the city. We'll get that airport up and running, and then we'll move on to the next city. And good that we got rid of that disgusting building that just exports the waste right onto the ground. I hate that building. So we got the proper waste treatment plant. And we've got just one more big utility to go, and we're pretty much good to go with this city for basic stuff. Well, we're kind of nearing the end of this episode. In the second episode for today, in the beginning, we're going to focus on wealthing up, as I was talking about a little bit earlier, and we will, play with a couple of the bigger parks and kind of see how they work. They cost a little bit more, but they cover a little bit more area, and we'll probably drop a couple of those, but we have to kill a couple of minutes here for this last part so I can get just enough money to place my pumping station, and then I will be pretty much all done for the basic high-tier utilities and basic services. After that, of course, we'll specialize, get the trade stuff in here, see if some of the trade stuff is locked, whatever, we'll get that worked out. And of course, next episode, you'll get to see me fail miserably, but we won't talk about what that is quite yet. So, thanks for joining me on this first episode for my SimCity Let's Play and the DX Gamer Show. I hope you'll join me for today's second episode, but that's pretty much it for this one, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later, and take care.